Hey, what's up? If you're looking to see what Ultimate Frisbee at the beach is like, you picked the right video. I'm bringing you step by step into the World Championship. If you missed it, we beat GB in the semifinals, which started an hour before the France-Belgium game. That semifinal was a spicy one.
Belgium has done it! They've knocked off the French, and they're going to the final.
After we watched that, the coaches immediately went into scout mode. We had played France before, but we hadn't played Belgium. So it was up to them to create and draft a game plan that would work for us and mostly to neutralize their offense. Sure enough, within an hour or two, Coach Brian Jones and Mario O'Brien got the team together and we had our scouting. And the fun thing too is you probably know the strategy, right? We have to stop Don. That guy is probably the best player in the world right now. He does everything. Going in, Lucas McClamrock and Charlie McCutcheon drew the Don matchup. We noticed that Don was getting a little bit more touches behind the disc for this iteration of Belgium, whereas in the club season we had just seen him a little bit more downfield. So we decided to put our scrappy defenders who are just going to stay on his hip. And if he sneaks deep and gets a deep goal or two, that's okay. It's part of the plan. We just really wanted to get the disc out of his hands, and if he was catching it, we wanted just some pressure on the reception. The other point on defense, we were looking for a little bit of a forced return, which is a little bit different than the forced middle. The forced return is wherever the disc is thrown to, you immediately seal and force it right back there. We were really trying to avoid them throwing one horizontally and then chunking or hitting a huge gainer downfield. The forced return we brought out, I think Brian doctored that up last cycle and it worked really well. And sure enough, that was going to be, our number one defense for the final. One fun thing offensively, we're not trying to over strategize. We had our playbook. Mario was changing the game. He had this, sheet where he had the plays so everybody on the line could see literally where you were going. It was this next level. I think it's going to catch fire in the club and international scene. It's the best way I've ever seen plays called. He called a great game. All right, we have arrived. We're behind the stadium, warming up. Some of the boys tossing. It's a very pretty day. So, about to start warming up. Team meeting in 10. We won the coin flip, the disc flip, and decided to play offense first. Launder launched the first pull, and I wanted no part of it. I let that roll out the back and let Johnny do his thing. We were able to score that first point, but the defense was really good, and it was kind of setting the stage what was to come. On beach, you really want to break first, aka score on defense. It gives you a big upper hand because the games are so short. We're playing to 13. Some games only get to 11 or 12, so an early break goes a long way. Sure enough, right off the bat, a game plan turn from Belgium. They hucked it to Don and literally missed by a millimeter. That's the strategy. Charlie was harassing him. He decided to eject and go deep, and they just missed. Rafi picks up and launches a beautiful full field throw all the way to Brett, and we get that first break. They answer with a goal of their own. They play a little small ball around the end zone and are able to put in their first point. So it's 2-1 advantage us. We come out.
Split from the back. We got Box coming off the back. We got Brett second to the back. Boxy going away side, Brett home side. Raekwon off the front.
And Johnny finds Raekwon with this little touchy blade. Super cool throw. If you didn't see it, Raekwon Adkins just absolutely blowing up this tournament. I mean, he already kind of blew up, but he was just unguardable, unstoppable. Probably had 30 goals and 20 assists all week. So fantastic, super cool. Keep your eyes out, keep your ear out for him. He is the real deal and also just a great dude. 3-1 Belgium receives. They actually have a little bit of a miscommunication, awkward drop right on the goal line, literally inches away from keeping it a 1-goal game. Our defensive unit picks up the disc, again has to go the whole field and does. D. Lee finds AJ at the goal line for a little gimme. AJ is probably one of our MVPs. He had some of the craziest blocks all week, and that dude just keeps getting better and better. Now at 4-1, they drop the disc on their very own goal line. We pick up and just score a one-pass goal, and it's 5-1, and definitely starting to feel like we could run away with this, which is really nice feeling on offense because the pressure is a little bit down. At 5-1, ref shoots deep, and it's a perfect ball, which I think really starts to settle them and give them a little confidence. They're playing really well when they're hitting those away shots and just playing a little bit looser. At 5-2, we march it all the way down to the goal line, and then there's a call right outside, and it's me and Raekwon kind of in this ambiguous space. The disc isn't checked in, and I remember somebody over my right shoulder asked, hey, who is it? What's going on? I'm like, are you kidding me? It's going to Raekwon. So I just yell out, Raekwon, I just get out of the way, and sure enough, he slips under and scores. At 6-2, they have a clean hold. It's kind of a really cool cut by Don. I don't know if you watched it, but he kind of starts he makes a triple move going out, but also going lateral. And yeah, just that creativity, I think, is really what separates him. It was kind of sick, and he's able to jump it in too. However, we come out and just put up a clean hold. Box finds his best friend Johnny in the cone. Out of half, AJ makes this great play on ref, but it is super close. It ends up going back. It was kind of ridiculous that AJ was able to get that close, and there was maybe a little contact. I'm not sure what they talked about in the huddle, but it was almost one of AJ's, he probably did that 3 or 4 times this week, just coming out of nowhere to make a play. Anyways, it goes back, but a few passes later, we're able to take the disc away, and we put a shot up. Brett throws it to AJ, and Don can't even really see the disc, jumps, does a 180 in the air, and makes this last-second swat. Kind of a crazy, crazy block. And that seemed to be the turning point for Belgium.
Oh, AJ!
Because on the next point, they take the disc from us for the first time all game. They make a nice block on an away shot to Raekwon from Johnny, and they end up kind of marching it up and breaking us.
Very much a foul. Now they're going to test Yacht versus Desmarais. Desmarais! Oh!
7-5 is a little bit of a nervy one for us too, down on the goal line. Luckily Taimon's able to find Yacht with a little Oyo across the field. Yacht catches the disc millimeters above the sand and is able to just throw from his butt. Speaking of Oyos, they laser one right past Antoine at 8-5, which he almost gets a fingertip on, gets through, and they're able to score. Christian Boxley does a little bit of magic at 8-6 with a little bit of a long jump into the end zone, taking it to 9-6. Shout out Christina, our biggest fan all week, always supporting in the crowd. Got a sweet shout out on camera. At 9-6, Daniel Lee, the Defensive Player of the Year, back-to-back, makes one of the plays of the game right before he actually laid out for AJ an inside, and it kind of bounced off his hands, and he dropped the disc. But, instead of putting his head down, he decides to get a huge layout block in the corner of the end zone and then sprint the entire field to get the bookends on a deep shot. So that's what it takes. Pro tip out there. That's how to play. If you make a mistake, just keep going and make it up. At 10-6, we end up getting the disc on defense again, and it really seems like it's pretty much a done deal. However, they quickly get it back on a nice deep D, go the other way and score, and then at 10-7, something happens that hadn't happened to us all tournament. Our offense went out there and not only got broken, but got broken twice in a row. The first one, Johnny misses Christian on a high stall corner shot to the end zone. And then the second one, Tyler misses me slightly on this little IO to the middle. I think I get that on grass, can maybe jump up quickly, but on sand, you're just moving so slow. Anyways, we don't get that one back. They end up breaking back to back. So at 10-9, we put on a brand new line that had never played together. We put out Raekwon and Benny from the O, who had a little bit of a rest before, and then 3 defenders, Xavier, Jack, and Rafi. And honestly, they look pretty good. They took a little while to get going, but they moved it up, and Jack finally decided to throw some crazy loopy, bladey Oyo thing that worked. Benny went up and got it, and all of a sudden, Benny's blowing his kisses to the fans like he always does, and he sees that it says final on the scoreboard. What had happened was, even though we're playing to 13, the time cap had went off, and unbeknownst to me or Ben, and maybe some others, I think some knew, but all of a sudden we were world champions. The first feeling was relief. It's very stressful. If you don't win, everybody's going to make fun of you back home. How did you lose? And yeah, so we didn't. We were able to breathe. I'm like, thank goodness. It's getting very hard to win that tournament. We'll see what happens in 4 years. The medal ceremony was nice.
Congratulations. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you.
We got these pretty good ones. I wouldn't say they're real gold, but this will go to Grandma. If you want to be a world champion, get in our free newsletters. You can sign up for throwing, coaching, and or athleticism in the description or the pinned comment. And if you really want to support this channel, then you can join Excel Ultimate's Film School. You get weekly game breakdowns, minute strategy, also with player development, so you'll become a better player, coach, and work on your game IQ. You get weekly games. It's $19 a month. You can also register down below, and it means the world. Your support allows me to continue making videos for Ultimate, and your support allows me to continue making these videos for you, for YouTube, and for the Ultimate community. All right, subscribe, stay tuned, and I'll see you next time. Hoping to keep this channel alive and well.